Hello and welcome to the Codex Prime podcast. We are on episode 115, and it is Tuesday, April 3rd, 2018. I am your host, Victor Omoayo, and with me as always is my co-host and social media chair, Carl Byrd.
What's good, everybody?
Yes, indeed. We are back again. We're going to be talking about Ready Player One. We're going to give our spoiler-filled review later on in this program. Also talked about some stuff we've been up to as per usual. And we're going to get into some of our predictions for Wrestlemania weekend, which is coming up on the horizon. And as you can see, we have the Ready Player One paperback novel by Ernest Cline ready to be given away, as well as a $25 gift card to GameStop? Yes. So any of those pre-owned games that you want to buy so bad at the GameStop shelf, you can use that gift card to get something cool.
Or at least, put it towards a pre-order.
Yeah, they push those pre-orders hard, don't they, at GameStop?
Like I said, I like my guaranteed copy there.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's like a good way to budget.
I suppose. It's like layaway,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because everybody, where I'm from, everybody did layaway. Especially at Geller's Shoes.
Geller's Shoes did that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Everybody I knew had sneakers on layaway.
Yeah, that's how a lot of people got their Jordans, I suppose.
Jordans. I remember the Grand Hills were popping back then. Shaq's before he got his Walmart deal. Penny Hardaways. I think I remember Maurice saying he had a pair of Penny Hardaways.
Word. Yeah.
Iversons. Whatever sneakers, Geller's layaway plan was like legit back in the day.
That's what's up. Yeah, so yeah, you can do that. You can put the gift card towards a layaway plan at GameStop. I don't know. God of War is coming out.
Oh yeah, I already put my pre-order in, so I gotta.
Nice.
I gotta get that. I've been seeing a lot of people playing Fortnite. Like Fortnite's a really big game going on right now.
I've seen a lot of that too. That and PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. That's still
I haven't seen. It's either Fortnite or Monster World Hunter. Did I say that right?
Monster Hunter World. Yeah. I was thinking. I'm still on the fence on whether or not I should get that game.
Me too.
I'll probably wait for a sale because it looks fun, but it seems like more of a grindy experience. Like grind for loot, fight monsters, and rinse repeat.
Yeah, pretty much. It's kind of like Destiny.
Yeah. Except Destiny's mired with a bunch of microtransactions and all this.
It's crazy. I rarely make microtransactions.
Yeah, it's not worth it. You gotta play the game. If you're gonna earn what you get in the game, don't just spend more money.
Yeah, I guess it's just the easy way. I like games where you can do both.
Yeah.
Whereas, if you play the game enough, you can earn, whatever it is that you need to unlock. Or if you want to just take the easy route out, just buy it. Either or, if you can do both, that's perfect for me.
Yeah. Although I think that with companies that have options for both, they go a little too far with the purchasing of in-game goods. For example, I know with the latest NBA 2K game, it's the microtransactions are so embedded that you'll have a miserable time playing it if you try to earn everything in game without spending an extra dime.
Yeah, you gotta buy sneakers.
Yeah,
you gotta buy. I think you have to buy sneakers.
Yeah.
I always say I'm gonna, and you know what? Every year I say I'm gonna get the next 2K game, and I just never do.
Yeah, I don't think it's worth it really. Besides, that's
because you're not a sports fan.
Well, not just that, but the WWE 2K games are not very good. I've played them, and they don't have that staying power, like I mentioned last week.
But I'll always get Madden every year.
Why? Isn't it virtually the same game every year?
No, there's always stuff. There's always stuff added and new rosters.
Yeah.
The rosters only update till I want to say about March.
Okay. So that's when they stop and just do a whole new game?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because then you got all the players that are getting drafted, all the transactions that went on during the off season.
Yeah. Now, when you play Madden, of course, you play as the Dallas Cowboys, right?
I do.
Do they still suck in the game?
Not at all.
Okay. I guess it depends on the player. But it shows like it might be fantasy then. But anyway. But yeah, we're going to get into some stuff. Before we do that, I'm going to say what up to the people who joined the chat. Kyle.
Jeanette.
And we got John Haponic, the super villain.
Oh, damn.
Yes, I wonder if he has seen Ready Player One, and I'd love to hear his thoughts.
I would like to hear his thoughts too.
Yes, I'd love to hear it as well. But as per usual, we get into what we've been up to at the top of the program. So with that, Carl, as you're sharing the episode, what have you been up to this past week?
Well, other than like cheat codes for Dallas Cowboys in the Super Bowl, nope. It's all pure skill.
Oh man, even with a cheat code, they still wouldn't make the playoffs.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
But what was I up to? Spring cleaning like a month. Oh my goodness, I'm still at it.
Oh, spring cleaning, eh?
Yeah. I always forget that how much of a pain in the ass it is. Like even if you do keep your house clean, which we do, is like you really gotta get under there and you start moving stuff, getting rid of stuff, and it's just like Jesus Christ, like it's exhausting.
Yeah, then you end up seeing stuff that you never thought that was there before.
Yeah, you forget. You really forget it. You see stuff you forgot that you had. But one thing though, my girl actually surprised me, and she actually, if you follow me on Instagram, on social media, I posted it. She got me a copy of Michael Jackson's Moonwalker for Sega.
Nice.
So I popped it. Of course, I popped it in my my little Sega system. I think it's called the Sega Maker System. I don't know.
Yeah.
And it works.
Oh, word. Okay.
And I'm just like, I'm actually surprised that I still know how to play it. I haven't played it since like, maybe I was like 10.
Oh man, that's like almost 25 years.
It's a long time ago. Okay,
yeah.
We don't need. It's a long time ago, but yeah, I'm just sitting there playing it and just still remember how to do everything. The soundtrack was freaking hilarious because it's all 16-bit.
Yeah.
So it was like and I haven't even had a chance to beat it yet. I haven't really had a chance to like really sit down and try to play it through, but it's still actually a pretty fun game to play. So now I really want to go to Toy Vault and just ball out and try to find like as many games from my childhood as I can. Like The Lion King.
Yeah, The Lion King it's a damn good game.
It really was. I used to, like I said, I think I mentioned this before. Like my cousin used to just tell me, Carl, play Lion King. Put it on the hardest difficulty and beat it in like 20 minutes.
Yeah, like it was a hard game even on normal. I remember.
Trust me, it took lots of practice. Lots and lots of practice.
Yeah. Speaking of which, that kind of reminds me. Like, have you also played Aladdin for the Super Nintendo or Sega Genesis?
Sega Genesis, and I used the cheat code like crazy. Never made it past like actually playing it. Yeah. Never made it past the first. Never made it past the first board.
Yeah.
Like I played it, but then I beat it, and then I'm just like, all right, second board. Then just use the cheat code through.
Yeah.
And it just plays a whole new world at the end.
Oh wow. Now, what would you say was the better game? Aladdin
Lion
or
King.
Lion King was the better game?
Oh, yes, Lion King is just better all around.
Oh, of course it is.
And then it was just Disney's downfall right after that, until like Toy Story.
I mean,
Hercules.
Well, Toy Story came out in '95. It was a year after Lion King.
Right.
You mean like the downfall of their 2D animation?
Yeah.
Okay, I'd agree with that.
Hunchback was cool. But maybe I'm biased because I was in the play in middle school. But I have no memories of like Mulan.
Hercules.
Atlantis, Hercules. I don't think I've never seen Hercules. I've never seen Hercules. I just didn't care at that point.
Yeah, Tarzan.
Nope.
No. Treasure Planet.
I had never heard of it.
Well, of course. Okay, there you go.
I think like once Disney started picking up was when like they acquired when they teamed up with Pixar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
But other than that, that's it. And looking forward to WrestleMania.
Yeah, I hear that, man. That's what's up.
What about you?
As for me, I actually engaged into a little movie watching project of mine because how every year I have my list of top 20 favorite films of the year.
Correct.
And before it was top tens. So before I went all the way back to when I was born, the year I was born, 1984 to the present. But then I decided, you know what? I want to see how far back I can really go. So I decided to watch some older films that I never got a chance to. And I realized that not only have I watched a bunch of older films, like some of which I can actually fill out some years in the past. But I want to see how far back I can go beyond 1984. So I've actually filled out my top tens for 1983, 82, 1980, and 1979. And even 1954 and 1953.
Jesus.
Yeah. So
it's like before my parents were born.
Yeah. So I'm gonna try to go back all the way back to 1940, and because I've seen a lot of old films, and even before 1940. But I just want to see like what would be my top 10 favorite films of those years, as well as my number one films of those years as well.
So I'm assuming that you already did 80. The year we were born, 84.
Yeah.
So. Do you have it
84
memorized or just
84? I know my favorite film of 1984 was Amadeus.
Amadeus. Well, I know that wasn't the song, but
Nah, but it's a modern classic.
Okay.
Ghostbusters is on there. Let's see, Killing Fields.
Bobby Brown was the Ghostbusters 2, right?
Ghostbusters 2, yeah. Nightmare on Elm Street.
Good one.
Yeah, and a few others I can't recall at the moment. 1983, my favorite film of that year was Fanny and Alexander.
Okay.
It's a old Ingmar Bergman film. 1982 was Tootsie. I love Tootsie.
Original Geronimo Man.
Whatever.
It's a good movie though. Tootsie was good.
Yes.
I was high when you let me borrow it.
Yeah.
For our bet.
Mm-hmm.
I actually enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And it just made me. It was just funny because like Family Guy spoofed it like a couple of times.
They really did. Yeah. So yeah, that 1981. I have one more film I'm working on that one. 1980, Raging Bull.
Okay.
Martin Scorsese, and 1979, Apocalypse Now.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's how far back I've gotten so far. So I'm gonna keep working on that throughout the year.
Okay, hold on. I had kind of a little bit of a brain fire because I was thinking Warriors.
Warriors was 79.
Warriors,
come out and play. Can you dig it?
I think that's all I remember from that movie.
Yeah, pretty much. I heard that I know there was a video game for the PS2 based on that game.
It was.
I heard that was good, actually. It was actually made by Rockstar Games.
You know what's funny too? Because I was like a couple months ago, I was helping my father move, and he collects like a lot of. He saves everything too. He's a bit of a hoarder, and it was good, Paul. And he still has his PS2.
Oh, that's what's up.
So all I need is the AV jack, and I'm going to Toy Vault, and I'm balling.
Nice.
I will probably get that.
Hey, by
Try
all
it out,
means.
at least.
Yeah, by all means. Yeah, this guy's. I remember getting good reviews when it came out. But yeah, Rockstar Games, man, they usually don't make bad games at all. So, but yeah, so that's my movie watching project that I've been doing. So yeah, so by the end of the year, I should have a pretty nice sized list,
Right.
including my favorites of this year. Let's see. Besides that, I actually did watch a new film which came out just a couple weeks ago. It's Steven Soderbergh's latest film. It's called Unsane.
What's it called?
Unsane.
Insane.
Yeah, and Unsane is a dope film, and it's by Steven Soderbergh, and it's a film that's shot entirely on iPhones. with on the iPhone 7.
Why do I feel like I've heard of that before? I've heard of that movie before.
Like there was a few commercials for it, and then of course there was a trailer. It's still playing in theaters, and it's a really cool psychological thriller. And it stars Claire Foy, and she plays this this young woman who's basically. Hold on, let me pull up the information. I should have it here.
Smartphones.
Yes, thank goodness for smartphones. Yeah,
Yeah, mister, I'm going to hop on the smartphone train extra late.
Damn right. Yeah, Claire Foy. She plays a woman named Sawyer, and she's this businesswoman, and she actually has some mental issues going on with her, some emotional issues going as well, suffering from anxiety, and for many reasons which I won't spoil, and she ends up being committed into this really shady mental institution, this psychiatric hospital, and once she's there, she actually finds that she actually claims that there's this guy who's working there, one of the orderlies, who happens to be a stalker of hers, and the same guy was stalking her so bad that she had to move from her original state, had to get a whole new job, start a whole new life, basically, and then here she finds this guy. This orderly who she claims is the same dude who was her stalker. So now throughout the whole film, you're kind of you're kind of doubting whether or not she's actually telling the truth or whether or not she's actually in real danger. Mm-hmm. And the film is dope. Like I said, it was shot entirely on iPhone 7s, and the film has a really sharp look to it. And it does provide an immediacy to the film. Like it makes you feel like you're right there with the characters, like going through all this crazy stuff. And there's like a brilliant use of like wide shots throughout the film, like wide shots like them like at a distance, and it kind of like showing how far gone this character may or may not be. Also, the fact that it was shot on iPhones, it kind of adds to the theme of the film of being watched all the time, because you know how all smartphones have cameras, and it's like you never know when someone else might be low key recording you or snapping pictures of you and whatnot.
That's how they get you.
Yeah, it's how they get you. Like Big Brother is watching. Hey, Big Brother is you, me, and everyone we know. Forget the government. And also it adds to the whole stalker theme as well, because she's also may or may not be watched by that guy who may or may not be her stalker. It has an interesting supporting cast as well. Jay Farrow is in it.
Oh shit!
Yeah, he plays this guy who's committed there for an opioid addiction. But he seems like he has his head on straight for the most part.
Was he funny though?
Low key.
So was he? He was like the comic relief.
I wouldn't say comic relief. Like, he had some funny lines, but he wasn't like the overt like comedy like laughing stock.
Yeah. Free Byrd. What up, Mike? That's an inside joke. He knows what I'm talking about.
All right. And Juno Temple is in it. She plays this really unstable, sort of unstable woman with white woman with dreads, and with more so like the long braids, and she introduces herself to Claire Foy's character by digging around in her sweatpants and throwing her used tampon at her head.
That is gross yet hilarious at the same time.
Yes, it was. I'm sure there are more creative ways of saying hi to somebody, but there it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, Unsane. It's
what you be watching?
But yeah, like Unsane, it's a movie that like I could get into more of the plot, but like it would ruin the film, and it's one of those films where you go into it and you just let the movie take you where it wants you to go, and you'll get a lot out of it then. I really like the way it was shot, the performances, the cast, they were fantastic, and I really like Steven Soderbergh as a director because he does a great job of doing different stuff with each film. Even if his films are kind of or okay at best, he always gives us something new, and that's more than I could say for some other filmmakers.
Any other movies you would recommend by him?
Oh yeah, he did Traffic with Benicio del Toro, Don Cheadle, Luis Guzman.
Okay.
Yeah, Michael Douglas.
Every time I see, you just mentioned Louis Guzman, and I always think of either the movie Waiting with Ryan Reynolds,
Yeah.
or the scene in Yes Man.
I haven't seen Yes Man.
Oh yeah, he plays somebody who's like jumping off a bridge, and then Jim Carrey just grabs the guitar and he stops singing. He starts singing Jumper. Just to get him off, and he actually does. And it was just it was just a hilarious scene to me.
Yeah. Oh, have you also seen Keanu?
With Key and Peele?
Yeah.
I really don't think Key and Peele's funny.
Really?
No, they have like a few good ones. Like, the Substitute Teacher, the first one. The East West Bowl is a classic, but then even then, after a while, it's like they did the first one, which was classic. They did a second one. It was like, all right, it's a bit much. And then they did one where the East and West was like rap battling. Like they did like 2 music videos and they were battling. And then they actually did one with actual NFL players. And you know how some NFL players have some really weird names?
Yeah.
Like, you got Ha Clinton Dix, hell, Dak Prescott. But yeah, and then of course only the white players had like the most normal names.
Yep.
So they ended it with Aaron Rodgers, and he says A.A. Ron Rodgers.
Yep.
Referencing back to the Substitute Teacher when he goes, "You done messed up, A.A. Ron."
Yep. Yeah, I mentioned Keanu because Luis Guzman is in that too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, with Steven Soderbergh, I recommend Traffic. Erin Brockovich was good with Julia Roberts.
Okay.
Ocean's 11, of course.
Did you see
The
the trailer to Ocean's 8?
Ocean's 8. I'm hot and cold on that.
In other words, do you think it's gonna be like Ghostbusters?
I hope not. I really hope not. I know Steven Spielberg, he didn't direct that one. I think Gary Ross is doing Ocean's 8. What's another film that The Girlfriend Experience. That one's very interesting. There was a TV show based on the movie, but the movie came first.
Okay.
That stars Sasha Grey, who was a real porn star.
There you go.
Yeah, but yeah.
Gotta get in the show. Gotta get in somehow.
Yeah, man. Only that means 2 things. Only in America. But yeah, check out Unsane. It's in theaters now if you're in a mood for something different and a cool psychological thriller, which is pretty funny.
All right.
Yeah. And other than that, yeah, that's pretty much it. Just movies and stuff. Yeah.
I see. Oh no, you posted on your Facebook that you saw a movie from, I want to say it was the 80s or 1990.
I think it was 87 or 88.
And I want to hear your thoughts on this one.
Oh yes.
I'm gonna get you, Sucka.
Yes, I finally watched that movie. I'm gonna get you, Sucka. After all these years, because it's available on Hulu. So I was like, hey, you know what? I've been meaning to watch this movie for years. Let me watch it on Hulu before Hulu decides to take it off randomly, like Netflix does. And you know what? I thought it was hilarious.
Oh, it is.
Oh yeah, I can see why. I mean, Keenan Ivory Wayans. This was pre-In Living Color. I mean, I expected funny, and that's what I got. Yeah, it came out in 1988. Directed by Keenan Ivory Wayans. It's a parody of blaxploitation films. It even features some notable blaxploitation actors at the time, like Isaac Hayes, Jim Brown, Antonio Fargas. And the best scene of the whole movie. Yo, to finally, I've seen only that one clip on YouTube for so many years. It's the scene where Antonio Fargas is walking out of the jailhouse. He gets his pimp suit back. He goes with the goldfish platform shoes, and he's walking down. He feels like he's the man. He's styling in those streets, and the next thing you know, everybody's clowning him. Everybody's laughing their ass off. Oh man. And then like the shoe breaks.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Funny thing about that scene.
Yeah.
You really watch. 2 of the kids in the back look awfully familiar.
Oh really?
Yeah. Sean and Marlon Wayans.
Oh really? That was them.
Yeah.
Oh snap. Man. Yo, like there was also one scene where Keenan Ivory Wayans' mom, I think Janet Dubois, like
Walona.
yeah, Walona from Good Times. Like, there's a scene where she's in the restaurant in the diner, and there's a scene where they don't even try to hide the fact that they use a stunt double. They use it was some guy dressed up as Walona, and it was so obvious that the guy, like, he does flips and he's like beating the hell out of these goons in the diner, and it's supposed to be Walona, but it's obviously not. That scene had me dying.
Oh yeah. Also, Chris Rock scene.
Oh, Cheap Pete.
He debuted Cheap Pete.
Mm-hmm.
How much for one rib? I sure am hungry.
It was $1. It's like, how much? Okay, 25 cents for one piece of a rib. And then at the end, he just steals a damn bag.
No, because he has he had like a whole stack.
Oh, really?
He got change for 100.
Oh man. Let's see.
Emery Johnson scene.
Yeah.
When he was hooking up with Keenan, and next thing you know, like everything was fake.
Yup. Yeah, man. I think that's where Fresh Prince got the idea.
I was just getting ready to sing the song. Stuck in the basement, sitting on a tricycle, girl getting on my nerves. Going out of my mind, I thought she was fine. Don't know if her body is hers.
Fake hair, fake nails. Here. Knock yourself out. That scene was quite funny.
Got on the classic.
Oh, but the scene that had me dying though was the scene where Isaac Hayes, he's loading himself up with all those guns and artillery, and then he has like the bullet belts, the machine guns, the handguns, the grenades and whatnot. He walks out of the warehouse all badass. He slips on one bullet, and then he falls back and he ends up shooting himself to death. I'm like, that shit was so stupid, man. It had me in tears.
So what would you say was the better parody film? I'm Gonna Get You, Sucka. Or Don't Be a Menace to South Central while drinking your juice in the hood.
Oh, man.
Yeah, go ahead. Yep, I went there.
The better parody film. And you know what's funny? My girlfriend and I watched Don't Be a Menace the other day. Oh, man. If I had to choose one, I'm going to have to go with Don't Be a Menace.
Yeah, because we got too much history. There was one time back in high school where me and my boy Joe, shout outs to him, we just decided to recreate the jump rope scene. Loud as hell in front of the whole entire cafeteria.
Oh, get out the game. Get out the game. Oh, man. Damn.
No reason at all. Just did it.
Mm-hmm. Swine, my brother. It's like fish, two fish,
red fish, blue fish, knick knack, patty whack, get dog.
Oh man.
Yeah, that I would say like we're 90s kids, and I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker was probably just a bit before our time.
Yeah, it was.
So like when Don't Be a Menace came out, we were kids watching the Wayans brothers on Wednesdays.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like we had to see that.
Yeah. Message.
Oh my god, that was my ringtone for text messages for like the longest time.
Oh really?
Yeah, back in my Android days.
Man, that's the perfect text message ringtone.
No, it was actually my Nextel days.
Damn, with the chirp phones?
Yep.
Damn,
yep.
man.
Man, listen, I thought I was balling when I had a Nextel, not Metro, Boost.
Yeah, Boost.
Because here's the thing though, because I got my Nextel, my credit was good. I was 18, fresh credit.
Yeah.
So I get it, and then like a few weeks, so I'm thinking I'm stunting on everybody, like wearing my extra long white tee, but yet I had the bottom of the tee tucked behind the phone. Because I was stunting. You couldn't tell me nothing. White Air Forces, jeans, and a do-rag. Like, I was stunting. Then Boost Mobile comes out like a few weeks later. So everybody was having it.
Yeah. No, I remember those days.
I was so mad. I was so mad, but I love that phone.
Yeah.
Only to realize, like, now, like, that was the most annoying thing ever.
Yeah. Chirp, chirp. Yo, I remember being on campus at URI my freshman and sophomore year. I heard that almost every single day.
Yep.
Damn.
Yo.
Man. You ever had a psych?
Where you at?
It's like, why don't you just pick up the phone and make a real call?
I mean, you can do that too, right? Just.
Oh, have you ever had a sidekick though?
I did not have a sidekick.
Ah, okay, you missed
Sidekick,
that.
I didn't jump on that bandwagon.
Yeah, I didn't either. Yeah, I just had my old regular old flip phone.
You're so lame.
Yo, that flip phone, man. It sustained me up until 2015, man.
Yeah, when we started the podcast, we were like, listen, you need to get yourself a smartphone.
Yeah.
That's a damn shame.
Hey, listen, man. Listen,
You're probably still listen. What phone is this?
Samsung Galaxy S5.
You know you're probably due for like a free upgrade.
Free upgrade?
Yeah.
Ain't not free? Maybe a free upgrade.
Yeah, you would probably get a free upgrade by now. You're probably overdue for 3.
Shit. Well,
I think they're up to what, the Galaxy 8?
yeah, I think so. Or 9. I want to say 9. I could be wrong.
Which one was the one that was blowing up in airports?
I think that was the Galaxy Note 7.
Okay.
Note 7. Yeah. Wait, as long as the next Samsung phone doesn't explode in my hand, I'll be good. I'll be good.
Nah, they fixed that. I think they recalled that and fixed that.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll
But it was great for like that whole iPhone versus Android roasting sessions.
Yeah.
I can go to the airport with my phone. What about you?
True that. But yeah, man. Yeah, I'm gonna get you Sucka. Don't be a menace. And and also
The first 2 scary movies.
yeah. Well, although now they're not as funny now, but they still have their charms. They have their moments.
I can agree.
Yeah. Oh, also, I think an underrated parody film, CB4. CB4 is mad underrated. Alan Payne. Boom.
Well, black, y'all. And I'm blackity, flickity, black, yeah.
Bleedy black, blackity black to black. Oh, man. Charlie Murphy as the real Gusto.
I need to watch that again.
Oh, man. That film is still hilarious. Stoney Jackson doing that freaking... what was his name? MC something or other? Wacky D. Wacky D with that one-legged... Yo, that one-legged dance he does, it's harder than it looks. I've been trying for years. I can't do it.
I gotta look at it.
Yeah.
I have to look at it one more time and try it. Try it, not record it, and leave it alone.
Yeah.
My dancing days are over. Long over. I was moving a bureau and I'm just onto a truck that was pretty high up the ground. I'm just like, yo, I am not as agile as I used to be.
Yeah, you sound like you're 54, man.
Oh, you shut the hell up, okay? But I really wasn't. Like, I used to be able to like jump off those things like no problem.
Yeah, hey, I think you still got it. I think do a little DDP yoga, you'll be good.
I've been thinking about doing that.
Yeah, you should. I kind of fell off the wagon a little bit.
You did,
but I'm gonna get back on that horse eventually. But yeah, that's stuff we've been up to. Real quick, in lieu of news and headlines this week, we're gonna get into some quick WrestleMania predictions, as well as maybe NXT Takeover predictions, maybe. Yeah, we'll fit it in there.
Why not?
But yeah, we got a stacked WrestleMania card this year. We got 13 matches in total, which includes the pre-show. Mm-hmm. So we got the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal on the pre-show.
I don't even know who's in it, so it's just whatever.
Yeah, it's whatever for me too. I won't be surprised if, say, some goober like Jinder Mahal wins it. I don't know. I don't know if you know if he's in the match.
No, because he's in the triple threat.
Oh yeah, that's right. With
for the U.S. title.
Yeah, with Orton and Rude. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, who knows? Who cares? Nobody. It doesn't mean anything. Then you have the WrestleMania Women's Battle Royal on the pre-show. It's up for grabs.
Becky Lynch.
Yeah, why not give it to Becky Lynch? She needs a win desperately.
She does.
Yeah, I think she's criminally underused, though.
She is.
Yeah. Like, ever since she won the SmackDown Women's Championship, like, she's been struggling. Yeah, they don't know what to do with her. Which is a damn shame.
I know. Honestly, every time I hear a theme song, I think of, like, the old NXT takeovers.
Yeah. Yeah, man. She was kicking ass in NXT, man.
Yeah, she was.
But yeah, maybe they'll give it to somebody new, like maybe an NXT call-up, maybe? I don't know.
Kairi
Sane? Oh, she won the Mae Young Classic, so, I mean...
Yeah, she got hers.
Yeah. Then you have perhaps the best match on the pre-show by default, Cedric Alexander versus Mustafa Ali for the vacant...
I call that.
Yeah.
I called that. I'm like, oh yeah. Once I saw that last match on 205, I was like, yep, this is gonna be the best match that should be on the main show. That will be moved to the pre-show.
Yep.
And with that being said, I'm going with my man said.
Me
and
too.
I love Mustafa Ali too.
Yeah, Mustafa Ali, he's a damn good talent, man.
Yeah, this is gonna be the match that's gonna make everybody watch the pre-show.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
That's why they put it there.
Yeah, and plus it's a 2-hour pre-show, so
Yeah, the first hour is literally just gonna be like, welcome to WrestleMania. Look at all the people walking in.
Mm-hmm.
Let's show a highlight.
Yep. And then the. I do hope that I do think Cedric is going to win, but I do hope that Cedric and Mustafa get royalties this time for the Blu-ray release.
Oh yeah,
because it did Neville and Austin Aries dirty.
I haven't bought a WrestleMania DVD since 29.
Yeah, there's no need to really because of the network.
There isn't. No, there isn't.
Nah, unless you want the collector's items, like.
And then that's usually what I always did because I bought the actual like the box set from WrestleManias 1 through 21.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it cost me like about a good $200.
Oof, yeah.
It was worth it. It was worth it at the time.
Yeah,
like there wasn't no Netflix at that time.
Mm-hmm.
So like there was no streaming. Yeah, there were no streaming services at that time. So I mean, having all the WrestleManias on DVD was very cool to have.
Mm.
And I was still using VHS, so I had like 3 copies of WrestleManias 20 and 21.
Oh wow, Jesus. Well, hey, that's what's up.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna go with Cedric for the Cruiserweight Championship because he deserves it. And so does Ali. Maybe they'll get into a nice feud throughout the year.
I say Ali gets it at SummerSlam.
Yeah, I think that's a good call. Yeah. Let's see. Real quick on the card, you got Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn tag team match. The return of DB to the squared circle. Who do you think's gonna win this one?
It's very predictable to say that they will give it to Daniel Bryan and Shane, but just to bring them back, it's gonna be Daniel Bryan's gonna do his thing.
Mm-hmm.
Owens and Zayn are gonna cheat to get hired back in.
Yeah,
and then they're gonna like end it with a high note, like Daniel Bryan and Shane doing some crazy shit.
Yeah, and then hopefully Bryan won't concuss himself. Fingers crossed. Oh man, because this will be his first match in 3 years since he retired.
Yeah. No, was it 2?
No, it's 3 because it was April 2015. He had his final match because he had a concussion and he had to relinquish the Intercontinental title.
Right.
Yeah. It was 3 years, man.
Oh damn.
Yep. But
wait, yeah, isn't Shane? I thought Shane was out of the match because he was injured. No, they announced it. No, they announced it last night.
Oh, that he's out?
No, that he's in.
Oh, he's in. Okay, well, I guess
that's when I saw it on Raw.
Oh, okay, so it sounds like Shane's cleared, or he's well enough to compete. So we'll see.
Well, Shane's a crazy motherfucker anyway, so you.
Oh yeah, he'll jump off
Shane
something.
Don't give a fuck.
He'll jump off something this year. Then you got Kurt Angle and Ronda Rousey versus Triple H and Stephanie McMahon.
Oh, they're definitely giving that to Ronda and Kurt.
Yeah, absolutely.
They have to, like, just because of the star value.
Mm-hmm. And hopefully,
yeah, Ronda's looking rough right now.
Yeah,
she's like obviously green.
She is, like, you can tell Ronda's learning on the job. Only the difference is it's on live TV.
Yeah. Okay, so I stand here and then you slam me to the thing. All right, let's do it right now.
Yup. That segment on Raw seems so awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah, and plus Ronda, she's still trying to find her voice as far as cutting promos go because like she sounds like she's speaking way too fast or like way too conversationally.
Yeah, she doesn't have like the push. I think like she's good at she's used to doing like interviews, even though her last like ESPN interview was like awkward as hell.
No, was it? Was after she lost, right?
No, I knew as a WWE talent.
Oh, okay.
She appeared on like First Take and Sports Center and stuff, and she was just like, it was off. It just was off. It was a complete awkward situation. I'll show you on YouTube.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Is it Paul? Paul asks, is it bad if I'm not really interested in the Rousey match? No, I don't blame you.
Nah.
Like it's simply star power, and it's just
Yeah.
to get more notoriety, and for the WWE and the women's division, and to sell way more tickets. I think Kurt and Triple H will carry the brunt
Yeah,
of the
they
wrestling.
definitely will. They definitely will carry it.
Yeah,
They're two great ring generals.
Oh yeah,
One Hall of Famer, one future Hall of Famer.
oh yeah, and Kurt.
I've never seen a Hall of Famer wrestle so much though.
Yeah, it's true.
I think he's wrestled. Yeah, he's probably wrestled the most matches as a Hall of Famer.
He has actually, yeah.
Yeah.
Because Ric Flair retired.
No, he's tied with Ric Flair.
Oh really? Oh, that's right. Because Ric Flair wrestled a few matches after his retirement. Two matches, yeah.
Two after his induction. That's what I mean.
After his, oh, okay, got you. Because it was with Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
And then it was with Hogan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, Rousey and Kurt will win their match. Then you got the SmackDown Tag Team Championship. You got the Usos versus the New Day versus the Bludgeon Brothers.
Bludgeons.
Think the Bludgeons are going to take it?
Bludgeons. They earned it.
I think so. I mean, logically, it'll make the most sense. It'll make the most sense if they win. I won't be surprised if the Usos retain or the New Day wins it again. But I think the Bludgeons. It makes the most sense for them to take it. Then you got the Raw Tag Team Championship. You got Cesaro and Sheamus versus Braun Strowman and a mystery partner.
I really have this feeling that they're just gonna have Braun against both of them. But then it's like it's an insult. But then shout out to my boy Eddie. He said this on our wrestling group. It's an insult to the bar.
Yeah, because like
They're both great competitors. Mm-hmm. Against, I mean, losing to one guy.
Yeah, that
just decreases their stock.
It absolutely does, and it kind of makes the tag team championships a joke.
Yeah,
it's like one person winning a tag team championship. I mean, there were rumors though that Braun Strowman's partner might be a returning Rey Mysterio to do like a David Goliath type deal, or Samoa Joe, but he's still injured, I believe, so he's still recovering.
I heard Elias, but I'm like, they was just feuding a couple of weeks ago, so it doesn't make sense.
Well, I mean,
some people say Big Show, but it's like that doesn't make sense either because even though Big Show had his surgery, Braun was the one who put him out.
Oh, that's true. Like kayfabe.
So yeah, honestly, from what all the rumors I keep hearing, the only one that makes sense would probably be like Cass.
Big Cass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's clear to come back.
Yeah, I think Big Cass might be likely because that might give WWE an opportunity to like sort of repackage him.
Yeah.
To kind of distance him away from the whole his Enzo Amore days.
Yeah.
Which
they need to do some serious. Yeah. You got to do that. The greatest swerve would be Ellsworth as Braun's partner. No, because James Ellsworth is actually a tag team champion right now.
Yes, with
Gilbert.
I saw that. Yo.
Dude, I laughed hysterically. And I'm like, that's nothing. That is literally top 5 tag team.
Yeah, I mean,
ever. Like they're like perfect for each other.
Absolutely. I mean, forget the Young Bucks, forget Bullet Club. That's the real tag team right there, son.
Gilbert.
Oh yeah, with the sparklers and the fire extinguisher. Oh my gosh, those are the days.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, shout out to Furman. He always used to say that was his favorite wrestler.
Oh really?
Yeah. It's like, yo, my favorite wrestler, man, Gilbert.
Hey.
The only person he knows even Jackhammer himself. That's what he used to say.
Hey, he's a former light heavyweight champion.
He was.
He really was. But yeah, Cesaro and Sheamus. I think Braun Strowman is going to win with his mystery partner.
Yeah.
I think it makes sense. Then you got the SmackDown Women's Championship, Charlotte Flair versus Asuka.
Asuka. That's my baby.
Although, I will be fucking mad if they have Carmella successfully cash in her briefcase after that match.
Pissed. But you know what? WrestleMania's got to have some type of shock value.
But at the expense of a 2.5-year win streak, that'd be stupid as fuck. And you know what?
They did it off a freaking 20 win streak.
Oh, with the Undertaker?
Yeah.
Well, that was different. But Yo, I won't be surprised if they pull a Seth Rollins with Carmella, where she cashes in during the match and she pins Charlotte, which protects Asuka, but that's still a loss on her.
Yeah,
her
it's still a
column.
loss. I'm like, don't do that.
Yeah, so I think I don't know what they're gonna do with Carmella's cashing at Money in the Bank at this point, but yo, they'd have to make it an unsuccessful cash in.
Yeah, they would have to. And from what I heard, Carmella's like okay with it.
Yeah, she should be. Yeah. She should be. So yeah, I'm gonna get Asuka is your future SmackDown Women's Champion, as she should be. Then you got the match that many of the Wrestling Fantasy Warfare followers are very thirsty for. This match is sponsored by Aquafina and Poland Spring. You got the Alexa Bliss versus Nia Jax Raw Women's Championship match.
That's my girl. Going for my girl. Yeah, I'm my girl Nia.
No, I think
It's a tough one because my girl Nia against my girl Cheeks. So I mean, like, I gotta go with Nia.
yeah,
Just love her. You just love her. You know what is why everybody's loving her? Because yeah, she's a big O, but it's the way she carries herself. Mm-hmm. That's what it is. It's like she has like that. Yes, I'm big, but I look good. Mm-hmm. All right, so and then you're just like, damn, I love that big.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a squash match, too. It has to be like 2 minutes. 2 minutes tops.
Please, because that WrestleMania is going to be long.
Yeah, so make it a squash match. Eliminate Mickie James from running interference. And then have Nia Jax have her WrestleMania moment. You know, doing it for all the women everywhere. Yay. Inspirational.
Oh, and surprise WrestleMania moment. The return of Hulk Hogan.
You think they're gonna have a surprise Hogan return?
Yeah, why not? Them 60-year-olds will lose their mind once they hear. Them 60-year-old Trump supporters will lose their mind once they hear Real American.
Well, that's true, but I will have Hogan come out only on the condition that he does a segment with the New Day, and then let's see if Hogan
would be hilarious.
Yes, and then let's see if Hogan will accidentally drop the N-bomb.
He won't.
I want him to.
He won't do it, but they'll make a joke about it.
Oh, they will.
Just to kind of say like, all right, let's forget him. Like what the New Day did when the Rampage got out.
Oh yeah, Xavier Woods.
And they always just like looked at him and the crowd went insane for Woods.
They did.
And it was just like, you got something to tell? That was a year ago.
That was a year ago, yeah. Yeah, that was.
You have something to tell us? WrestleMania is here. And I was like, well played. I just had to say, well played. Mm-hmm. I wonder if that's on the network. Like that moment.
I think so.
Like we have to like find exactly when, like that following Raw when it came out.
Oh yeah, it's got to be on there. Then you got the Fatal 4-Way for the U.S. Championship: Orton versus Rude versus Jinder Mahal versus Rusev Day. I'm gonna go with Rusev. It's his time.
Well, he's already had that belt before, but he deserves the push.
Yeah, he does. And the Rusev Day calendars and T-shirts are flying off the store. So you know what? I'm gonna give it to him. I won't be surprised though if they give it to that goober Jinder, because Jinder sucks. And which
there's only one thing I can say that's good about Jinder. He's becoming a decent heel because of the fact that he is garbage and we hate him.
Is he really though? A decent heel?
I would say so.
I'm gonna have to disagree because like he hasn't changed at all.
But the thing is, like, it's because we hate him.
Yeah, because he sucks.
Right. So it's like he's working on that, and he's making us boo him.
Yeah, well,
even worse than we already did.
I don't know. I'm not sold.
I still need it, but I said when's Heath Slater gonna get a belt? When's he gonna win a world title?
He should.
So all three members of 3 men. I like the whole "I got kids" thing.
Yeah, he struck gold with that one. But yeah, I'm gonna say either Rusev or if not, then Jinder Mahal for the U.S. Championship. Then you got the triple threat for the Intercontinental Championship: Miz versus Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor. I'm going with Balor. Balor Club has to be. Then you got the best match on the card by default: AJ Styles versus Shinsuke.
I love AJ too, but I'm just like, I gotta see Shinsuke. Shinsuke gotta do it.
Yeah, Shinsuke. You know, he's got a Royal Rumble winner. He's going to be the next champion. He has to be, and that's going to tear the roof off the Superdome
if WWE lets them do their thing.
That's the crucial part. Yeah,
I think Triple H would let him do it though.
Oh, absolutely.
I think his influence would like, yo, trust me, like Vince, Dad, whatever he calls him, you gotta let him do it.
Yeah,
that was my horrible Triple H impression.
Got to make it look strong. But yeah, AJ Styles and Nakamura, they'll give a match of the year candidate, no doubt about that. Nakamura's taking the championship as he should, which will make him the second Asian wrestler to win the WWE World Championship. First one being Batista, half Filipino. Yeah. And then you have Lesnar versus Reigns, but who gives a shit? But yeah, the winner of that match, of course, Roman Reigns, and then Adrian's gonna be like, "Oh my God, he's the face! Don't you see? Don't you see why Roman Reigns is the face? I mean, oh my God, Roman Reigns is just like he's like the god. He's like the greatest of all time." Really, Adrian? Really?
That wasn't bad. You must have listened to his episodes a couple of times.
I have
to get that. That wasn't bad. But I will say this. Shots fired. Adrian, next Tuesday,
man. Yeah, I mean,
we already got Brian coming back.
Brian's coming. Hopefully, Grande will join us.
Oh my God!
All we have to do is like let the microphones go. Just go.
That's it. Oh my God!
So yeah, Lesnar. I mean, Lesnar's gonna drop the title to Reigns. Reigns is gonna have his fourth coronation in a row.
The only way is like B Rob said. As a matter of fact, shout outs to Random Ramblings with Rob. We were guests on his show. His episode, the Codex Prime episode, is up. Mm-hmm. So we'll probably end up put that on our YouTube feeds or one of our feeds.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So y'all can hear, y'all can tune in because it was hilarious. But as long as they don't end the show with that match,
yeah,
WrestleMania will go out on a high note.
That is true. That is very true. And also too,
because WrestleMania last year ended the Undertaker's quote unquote send off saved the ending of WrestleMania.
It kind of did. It did.
On a sad note, but like on a proud note.
Yeah, because it was
maybe I'm biased because I'm a fan.
No, I'll say you're right because it's like putting to rest the dead man, you know, and his legacy. Even though the match was awful, I mean,
I will
not Giant Gonzalez awful like you said, but I'd say Lesnar Undertaker awful from WrestleMania 30 awful.
You wouldn't say Ultimate Warrior Hogan.
Oh no, not that.
Halloween Havoc 98.
Oh, I wouldn't go so far as to say that was that bad. No.
As a matter of fact, so I just decided randomly to Wikipedia that match because I remember watching that at pay-per-view. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, you know what? I do not remember seeing that and the end of that match because Halloween Havoc went over their time and the pay-per-view got cut off.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. We paid for it.
Damn.
We paid to see that. It cut off, and by the time they realized that they messed up, Goldberg and DDP already had started already.
Wow!
So I completely missed the botched fireball.
Oh, I remember seeing that.
That went off in Hogan's face instead of Warrior's.
Mm-hmm.
And then the whole what was it? Oh. Horace Hogan just giving Warrior a chair shot.
Oh.
That's how the match ended.
Oh, WCW.
Yeah. Ultimate Warrior, the leading cause of British Bulldog's death.
Oh, yeah, the trapdoor.
Yeah.
Yeah. In a roundabout way, there's a little bit of truth to that.
Yeah.
And surprisingly, last but probably least, we did not get a John Cena Undertaker match.
So far.
It's already a stacked card, but I will say, I hope that all this trolling goes nowhere because I don't want to see the Undertaker back in the ring.
I don't either. Not in the ring. Like, I don't. And this is coming from a hardcore fan. You shut your face because I know you got a smart remark coming.
No, but go on.
Like, I just that. See, he will at least show up. I know that, but it's like it doesn't need to happen. It really doesn't. Like, what is it gonna do? So, like, say if Undertaker comes back and loses, it just tarnishes his legacy.
Yep.
It won't do nothing for Cena if.
Yeah.
Like the match, at this point, it's useless.
Yeah. Yeah, it is, and plus, like, it's like a few years too late anyway.
Yeah, definitely.
And and I was thinking about it too, and I was like,
that match should have been WrestleMania 27.
I agree. Yeah. I would not be surprised because WWE has done this before. I won't be surprised if they resort to like overbooking, like for example, like with their Lesnar and Reigns match. I won't be surprised if that match ends in a dusty finish, and then all of a sudden Undertaker comes out, and then all of a sudden to exact his revenge for whatever reason, and then chokeslams them both. And then,
I would mark out.
And then John Cena comes out of nowhere and helps Roman Reigns win the Universal Championship. You know WWE is not above a dusty finish. They've done it before.
They're capable of it. But something like that, I would freaking mark out. I would just be like, just a boom. Snap! I'm happy to see my favorite wrestler again.
Well,
do something like that. I'm like, all right, good. I'm cool with that. I don't need to see a big old. I don't need to see no match.
Right.
Do something like that.
I mean, but the question is, can the Undertaker still pull off a choke slam? And because his hip will give way and like all that weight, then all of a sudden like his hip will buckle, then he'll fall over. And it's like, oh my God, get his nurse from the nursing home. Oh no, Grandpa broke his hip again. Oh no, we can't afford another replacement. What are we going to do? First of all,
if that happens, there'll be two grandpas in the ring.
Really?
Yeah, Lesnar's a grandpa.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Huh. I did not know that because of his wife's kids, Sable's. Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, then again, the difference is Lesnar can still walk under his own power.
Undertaker can too.
Well, he can't walk the whole length of the ramp, entrance ramp.
Undertaker can. He just because of the way his character is, last year's ramp would have took forever.
Yeah,
and I think Mercedes-Benz Stadium's a bit smaller.
Yeah,
Mercedes-Benz Superdome.
Yeah, it's
smaller. So
yeah, but who knows? I think Undertaker's doing the right thing. If by just keep him off the card, man. He doesn't need to embarrass himself.
No, he just doesn't need. Yeah, he doesn't need to.
Yeah, he doesn't need to be a Randy the Ram Robinson.
No, but just imagine if they actually do have that match and Undertaker just like pulls a dope one out of his ass.
I can't see it.
I don't see it happening either, but I mean, okay, but it can happen. Look at Flair and Shawn Michaels. That Flair's last WWE match was fire.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
It could happen.
That's true. And Flair
was older
and still an alcoholic somehow.
You know, I would love to party with Ric Flair.
You'd probably be dead.
I'll be okay with that, though. I'm going out happy.
I don't know, man. But yeah, we'll see.
Did you see Ric Flair's video with Offset?
With what?
With Offset from the Migos.
No, I haven't. He had a video? Huh.
Yeah. I think it was 21 Savage? 21 Savage and Offset. I want to say I watched it recently. I just laughed. Okay. It's called, the name of the song is called Ric Flair Drip.
Nope. Okay. Yeah. Show that to me after the podcast.
Oh, my God. It is hilarious.
Word. Yeah, so that's our predictions for WrestleMania 34, which is this Sunday, April 8th. Oh, and of course, this Saturday is NXT TakeOver New Orleans. I do have one prediction for that. Your first ever NXT North American champion will be the Velveteen Dream, Patrick Clark. He needs a title. NXT. I've always said NXT.
I'm going for Ricochet.
NXT needs a secondary title. Velveteen Dream. He's over with the crowds. Over like Rover. Give him the belt.
Oh, speaking of Grande.
Oh, okay.
Grande. Next Tuesday, you coming on?
Yes, come on to the podcast, Grande. We need you because we're gonna have Adrian. We're gonna have Brian Lopes, and that's it, right?
And him if he decides to come.
Yep, and you.
Us.
Yeah, and us, of course. So we'll let the microphones go. Have a debate on WrestleMania, the fallout from WrestleMania weekend. But yes, Velveteen Dream, your next NXT North American champion.
He said, "Let me guess, y'all predicted Reigns will win and get the largest WrestleMania pop of all time."
Yes, and by pop you mean raucous amount of booze. Yes.
He'll get the booze, but he won't get the last year's Raw after.
Oh, the Raw after Mania, like FU. Oh man, I think Roman Reigns, because he's gonna be a tweener for life at best.
Oh yeah,
just a straight tweener, all because of Undertaker.
Oh, he teaches guitar at 6:30. Cancel it.
Well, don't cancel. I mean, he could come in at a later time. He started around 6:15 ish. Yeah. So yeah, it's the offer still stands. But yeah, that's pretty much it for what we've been up to in WrestleMania predictions for this weekend, and we're going to be talking about spoiler-filled review of Ready Player One, the movie, directed by Steven Spielberg. Yeah. So
I don't even know the name of that song.
I don't know either. Oh well. Anyway, so yes, Ready Player One. It's Steven Spielberg's latest film, based on the 2011 novel by Ernest Cline. It's 80s nostalgia all up and down your ass. More nostalgia than you care for or know what to do with.
Hey kid, I have to go put down Roman Reigns next week. No lesson. He'll understand.
Word.
He'll understand. Ready Player One, ready to watch something else.
Oh, John Haponic with the comment there.
It's called Jump by Van Halen. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, thank you for that. So, Ready Player One. Carl, since you're the bigger fan of the two between us, as far as the novel goes, since we'll get into the movie, give us a Carl Byrd summary of Ready Player One.
Oh my God. I hate you so much. Ready Player One takes place in the year 2045, where a teenager named Wade Watts. Oh my God.
Wade Watts. Yes, Wade Watts.
And the rest of the world is attached to a video game called The Oasis, where you can basically live an alternative life. Mm-hmm. I mean, you can play games, you can go to school. Well, in the book you can.
Yeah.
Meet people, acquire currency. Basically, like the Oasis is just an alternative reality.
Right. Yep.
And the creator of the Oasis, James Halliday, passes away, where he actually leaves a game with a hidden Easter egg, and the winner actually wins control of the whole Oasis and his fortune, which is like $500 billion.
Wow. Okay. So yeah.
What would you do with $500 billion?
$500 billion, I would pay off all my student loans and credit card debt, and I would move out of Rhode Island.
I would not know, because I just wouldn't even know. Honestly, I'd be rich and still keep my job.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I'll get bored.
I mean,
and you can get, if you're rich, you can get rid of rich with a crazy summer and a drug habit. So like,
well, I mean, me, I would sit and I would read all the classics. I would watch all the classic films. Like I'd have time now. I'd be like Burgess Meredith in that Twilight Zone episode where he survives the apocalypse and he has all those books. He has time, but all of a sudden
his glasses drop and he's like, it's not fair. It's not fair. It's not fair. Oh my God.
I had time now. I had time.
Oh, who spoofed that?
Family Guy.
I thought so. With the brain cell?
Yeah, Peter Griffin's last remaining brain cell.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good episode too. Family Guy and Twilight Zone. But yeah, Ready Player One. Carl, what did you think of Steven Spielberg's film?
I enjoyed it. I had fun watching it. But you can exactly pinpoint when they like completely change like things from the book.
Mm-hmm.
Like you know exactly when. And it was kind of messed up because I was watching with my girlfriend and she's just like, "You talk a lot. I'm surprised you talk a lot during the movie." And I'm mainly talking to myself like, "That's not what happened. Okay, they changed this around and this around."
Mm-hmm.
They played "Can't Hide Love" by Earth, Wind and Fire. I started singing it. I happen to love that song.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, oh my god, I'm like, "Hey, there's Goro from Mortal Kombat."
Yep.
Oh, I saw Chun-Li. Oh, there's Sonic.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So what was cool about it in the book, it was just completely 80s.
Yeah.
Like one thing that you complained about is like they threw the 80s at your face like there was no tomorrow.
Yeah.
But in order to appear to another, you know, to younger audiences, they threw it everybody. They threw everything in there.
Mm-hmm. Like stuff beyond the 80s.
Beyond the 80s, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it sounds like you enjoyed the film.
Yeah, it was a fun watch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like, what would you say is like the one thing that you liked most about the film?
Most about the film? I hadn't even thought about that. Damn.
Or rather, what's because I know that the movie made substantial changes from the novel, from what I read.
Well, they definitely had to, because if they would have copied if they would have copied exactly from the book, it definitely would have been a rated R.
Oh, okay, rated R. How so?
Well, I gotta go through my notes now. Well, for one of the main characters, Dido, who was part of the High Five, actually gets murdered.
Really?
Brutally.
Like in real life?
In the book, yeah. Okay. In real life, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Not just in the Oasis. That and one other thing, and actually in the book, Wade actually goes into hiding after IOI blows up his trailer. Mm-hmm. What they would call stacks, which was just trailers on top of each other, which I think they portrayed very well.
Mm-hmm.
He goes. The movie starts in Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
And then he migrates to Columbus, where he goes into hiding. And one of the moments in the book is like he uses a sex doll toy.
Oh.
Like them realistic sex dolls that were like sweeping the internet about a month or two ago.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Okay. Now with the changes, were you cool with the changes that the film made?
It wasn't bad. No, it wasn't that bad.
Okay.
They were obvious, but I didn't make a big fuss over it.
Yeah.
Like, just like certain portions, I probably should have like went through my notes and rehearsed this much better. But I just didn't make too big of a deal about it. I will say this though, reading the book first before watching the movie does kind of like put a damper on it.
Mm-hmm. Well, okay.
Because you're kind of hoping for the exact thing. Mm-hmm. But, you didn't get that because, they had to condense it just for the length of a movie.
Yeah. Okay. Well, as you're looking through your notes, I'll drop what I thought about the film. Well, Ready Player One. As far as the stars go, it stars Ty Sheridan as Wade Watts /
Cyclops.
Yep. / Parzival, which is his Oasis character avatar. Olivia Cook, Ben Mendelsohn, Lena Waithe, T.J. Miller, Simon Pegg, and Mark Rylance.
I like T.J. Miller.
Yeah,
he's like uneffortly funny.
He is.
He's like I wouldn't compare him to Bill Murray.
Oh no.
But he's like has that like he's like Bill Murray-esque. Like, he's
Yeah.
just like, it's like he's funny when he doesn't try to be.
Yeah, it's like funny without even trying.
Yeah, exactly. Like when he was Weasel in
Oh, Deadpool.
In Deadpool.
Yeah.
He's like, I would go with you, but like when he was going to fight Francis.
Yeah.
He's like, I would go with you, but I don't wanna.
Hey, he was keeping it real.
For real. He's like, wanna get fucked up? Oh, and the avocado.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah. So Ready Player One. I do understand that being that it's an adaptation, you have to adapt certain elements from a book to a film because certain elements in a book wouldn't work
Right.
as well on a movie. I with the novel, I read the first 30 pages and I had to put the book down because like it was just wave after wave of like 80s references and footnotes and the summary that I read of the novel, like the characters are pretty obnoxious with their 80s name dropping and referencing.
Couldn't escape it. You couldn't escape it. It actually took me a while. Like I did put the book down for like a few good months.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that was the biggest thing I was afraid of going into the film, that it was just going to be wave after wave of references thrown at you, like hitting you over the head, like bludgeoning you. Thankfully, the film isn't obnoxious with its references, even though there's a lot visually. Like you'll see like this character and that character from this movie or that video game.
The royalties that they had to pay to do all that.
I can imagine. It's like watching this movie kind of felt like watching Copyright the movie, and you know, and like as far as like visually like the visual effects, you know, it felt like, especially in the first major action scene with the race, we're leading to the first key or the first clue, because James Halliday, he leaves 3 clues for the gamers in the Oasis to discover.
Correct.
And whoever discovers these 3 keys gets to win the
grand prize, the Easter egg.
The Easter egg, which is full control of the Oasis and $500 billion. And it just, like, watching that first race, the street race.
Yeah.
It just felt like stuff. It just felt like clutter, over a clusterfuck of stuff coming at you in waves and waves, just assaulting my eyeballs. And I was just sitting there like, I was numb to it in like 10 seconds. It was just sensory overload. It was like this movie was made, and that scene in particular was made for the express purpose of buying the Blu-ray so you can pause frame by frame and go, oh, that reference is from Back to the Future. That's from King Kong. That's from this. That's from that. I know these things. I'm a smart nerd. I'm a real nerd. I know all these references. I clapped because I know these things. I clapped because I recognize these pop culture artifacts. And it was just like, God damn, I had to close my eyes for a moment, because it's like, man, this movie is like hitting me hard like Transformers 2.
You know what I actually got out of it though? The first race scene, it was like watching the Speed Racer movie with less motion sickness. That movie was just pure motion sickness.
Yeah, man.
Like, yeah, John Aponic says the ultimate light show, Vic.
Yes, thank you. I was thinking about this. Ready Player One is the ultimate light show, and that's saying something more than any other effects-driven, fare from the MCU or even the DCEU. Yo, Ready.
Whoa. First of all, you said you're talking about a light show.
Yes, and please don't interrupt me.
You mentioned DC. You said DCEU.
Yes.
Ain't no damn lights in the DCEU. And you know that.
Look at Justice League. They're all under.
Okay, they were orange.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and to a certain extent, the last action scene of Wonder Woman, and I like Wonder Woman, but yeah, it was just a big ass light show, from a 2 hour and 20-minute light show from start to finish, and that first racing scene alone just damn near took me out of it, but I stuck with the film, and there are things that I like about it, but there's a lot more that I just didn't really care for. One thing that I didn't care for was the main character himself, Wade Watts, played by Ty Sheridan. He was just like this. I just found him to be like a dull character. He's just a blank slate, just a milquetoast white kid who wants to win this race, this fortune.
It's pretty generic. I can agree.
Yeah, and even his backstory, with his aunt who has a string of abusive douchebag boyfriends. Even that I didn't care for. I was like, yeah, whatever. It doesn't make him any more compelling.
It's because you heard it so many times.
Yeah, that is like not only that, but like the way it was done in the film, it was just like, this doesn't really matter. Like he literally could have been like some kid just like living by himself with like parents who are completely useless, like the father from Stranger Things, and he'd be the same character. He'd be the same character.
But you just made me think. Why'd you make me think of that?
Yeah.
Oh, that scene with him and Dustin was hilarious. He's like, you're so fucking useless. Like, hey, language.
Yeah.
I didn't care.
Yeah. And I was just thinking about like his whole motivation throughout the film, and as well as the motivation of the other characters. And it's like, you know what? I don't really care. I'm trying to, but at the end of the day, it's like the logic of the world of the Oasis in the film, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense when you really sit and think about it. Because okay, Halliday, they have trillions of dollars literally to create this wonderful second world, this virtual world, trillions of dollars, and yet the real world is so shitty, so terrible,
it's awful.
Full of poverty and squalor.
Gray.
Just gray skies every day, people living in trailer parks or on the street. And yet, okay, you have trillions of dollars to invest in this oasis, which apparently people's real life fortunes are determined by what they do in the oasis. So if their avatar is killed, then they lose everything that they've bought, which is like, okay, so if they took all this trouble to build the oasis, spend all that money, they could use that same amount of money to actually improve the real world itself. So it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to run away from the real world into this virtual world, where at the end of the day, nothing tangible happens to you, and you come out and it's like, well, where'd all the money go? This money isn't putting real food on the table. It ain't putting real clothes on my back. But
in the book it did.
I mean, maybe in the book, but in the movie it didn't translate well. And it's like, why do I care? And even the main motivation, like the main villains, the IOI corporation, they want to monetize and corporatize the Oasis itself. It's like, so if they do, what difference would it really make? Really, what difference would it make?
So in other words, you just hated the movie.
I couldn't get into it, man. I just couldn't, because I'm sitting there like thinking like none of this makes a whole lot of sense, and the motivation, it's like at the end of the day, even if IOI takes over the Oasis, how much different is life going to really be? You're still going to be poor. You're still going to be living in a trailer, fighting for scraps. But at the end of the day, you can escape into this virtual world. Oh, life is worth living because you can dress up as a Final Fantasy character. Give me a break. So what did you? So what other things?
I'm like, lay it up a bit, Jesus.
I don't know.
Did they ruin the Iron Giant?
What did you think about that?
I took it as it was cool to see the Iron Giant.
Did you ever see the movie Iron Giant?
Actually, no.
It's a really good movie.
I heard. I have just never got a chance to see it. But
Yeah, it's a modern classic.
yeah, I mean, it was like, oh yeah, I'm like, damn, the Iron Giant. It's pretty cool. Like, it was just cool to see it. To me, it was just cool to see it. I like H's character as well. Mm-hmm. The fun. I would consider him the comic relief. Mm-hmm. But I think most of the time, like as I was watching it, I was just pinpointing all like what's different from the book and whatnot. Mm-hmm. And it was a lot.
Yeah,
it was a lot.
Now, from what I understand, like the relationship between Parzival, Wade Watts, and Artemis is pretty different in the movie.
Yeah, because they did not meet each other until like the end, like physically meet each other.
Yeah.
So like in the movie when they met, it was right after the stacks blew up.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, like Artemis has this like group, has his little this henchman choke out Wade.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, he wakes up and there's Artemis right there. Mm-hmm. And then he says the line, "You're more beautiful. You're more beautiful than I thought." And I'm like, that happens later, a lot later.
Yeah, like in the book, from what I've read, reviews of, I heard that the relationship is a little creepier in the book between Wade and Artemis.
Well, because they grew so attached, but only in the Oasis.
Oh, okay, I see.
So they had like no idea, and everybody lived in Columbus.
Oh, everybody.
Which was not completely true. Like Dido and Shoto lived in Japan. Artemis was actually from Vancouver. H was originally from Pennsylvania. But then they all end up like meeting up. Well, with the exception of Dido. Dido actually gets killed by IOI.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Yeah, because the High Five, they were getting all the keys, and as you know, IOI was trying to get them. So whoever got closest to him, they happened to get to Dido. They like ransacked his room in real life and threw him off his balcony.
Oh, jeez.
And fell to a gruesome death.
Oh, wow. That's too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they had to take that. They had to take that out and actually keep him to keep the PG-13 rating.
Yeah.
Also, the Gundam fight with Sorrento didn't happen.
Okay.
In the book.
I see.
Obviously, because I was Dido and Dido was dead.
Yeah. Did they use like Voltron as a replacement, or Power Rangers? I don't know.
Well, in the book, it was 80s, so
yeah,
Power Rangers was 90s.
Yeah.
No, there was no Voltron references in the book. I remember.
Yeah. I don't know. How did you feel about the presentation of the Oasis in the movie? Like, what did you think?
I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't think it was like extravagant out of this world, but I'm like, I was enjoying it. Very. The cinematography of it was cool. Just in Oasis alone, but then like once they got into the real world, it was just like we said before, gray. It was literally like kind of like a 3D Wizard of Oz.
Yeah. Okay, that's
where
a good
Kansas was gray, but the Oasis was
like bright and colorful.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, what would you say is your favorite segment of the film?
The Shining was comical.
The what?
The Shining. Shining.
The Shining.
Shining. I always said it wrong. I knew I was saying it wrong all these years.
Yeah, I will say the Shining was the dopest part of the film. That actually made me perk up a little.
But I was kind of hoping like Jack Nicholson's head would pop up. Instead, all we got was just the axe. Yeah. And then what was what movie was that with the twins?
Oh, The Shining.
That was The Shining as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool too. And then H getting all creeped out and stuff. But that didn't happen in the book at all.
Yeah. Okay, so they never visited The Shining?
No.
Okay.
Actually, like the whole game itself was actually like they simplified it for the movie. So like in the first, the game was a lot easier in the movie. Like at first, like the quest when Wade gets the key, he actually uses it to get the next clue. But in the book, he had to play Asarak from Dungeons and Dragons in the Tomb of Horrors, and he had to play a game of Joust against him, and then reenact Matthew Broderick's role in War Games.
Huh. Okay.
Okay, and then for the second one, like I previously stated, that Stephen King's Shining, almost said it wrong again, wasn't in the book at all. Although Artemis, who did get the key in the book and in the movie, she completes a game called Zork. I can't remember. I don't remember it either.
Yeah.
And then Wade passes the Blade Runner test, which was reenacting a scene. Wait, was it Blade Runner? Yeah, and then has to beat a game called Black Tiger in order to get the second gate. And then the third one, which was I'm just kind of going through my notes. He finds the adventure Easter egg, which is a game from the 80s where that had a secret Easter egg, where back then video game creators couldn't use their name saying like created by Victor Omoayo or whatever.
Yeah.
So there was an Easter egg in that game where the creator of that game, whose name I don't remember, it's mentioned in the book. You can find it.
Yeah.
So he finds the Easter egg in Holiday's castle, but not before returning an epic guitar to his altar and playing a song by the band Rush to get the crystal key. And then he had to beat Holiday's score in Tempest and reenact a scene from Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Okay. So it seems like the challenges are different in the book.
Yeah,
they just have
very
to
different, much harder.
like reenact scenes from 80s movies.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you seen any of those movies?
I've seen a couple of them.
The ones? No, I'm talking about the ones that I mentioned.
Yeah.
Like Monty Python's Holy Grail. I know you saw Blade Runner because that's one of your favorites.
Yep.
And then War Games?
I haven't seen War Games.
Okay. And then what's different, another difference too, is that it took 3 people to open the third gate to get the, with the crystal key.
Yeah. Okay. So from what it sounds like the movie's challenges are very different than the 3 main challenges, where they had to figure out different aspects of James Halliday's life.
That's also included though.
Yeah. Okay. So I think with the movie with focusing on that more as the challenges, like figuring out different clues as to what those references meant to his life. I would say that's an improvement. That's a better improvement rather than the characters in the movie just like reenacting 80s scenes from 80s movies.
Because I will say one thing too is like when you get the clues, as you're reading, you're trying to figure out the clues yourself.
Gotcha. Okay. I did like. Yeah, I did like the Shining sequence. That was very well done. Like it's like they rebuilt the very sets. The sets seem so real and tactile. I think they were the actual sets, or if not the actual sets, like
they CGI'd it.
Well,
and
maybe not CGI, but actually just like rebuilt the sets and to better accommodate the film Ready Player One.
Right.
But they were very well done, and it even had like that same kind of like film grain texture to make it look like.
Yeah, I noticed that too, especially in the Shining scene. Especially when I really noticed it when the twins. Mm-hmm. That scene with the twins in the elevator.
Yeah, and
I'm like, wow, it really like it was like the first season of Stranger Things.
Yeah,
like you really got that 80s cinematography, and you got that feel of it.
Yeah,
like you're watching an 80s film.
Oh yeah, and the Shining sequence was definitely the standout part of the film, and that one was like, okay, that's really cool, and I think it's pretty clever for them using an 80s film like The Shining because it's sort of ironic in that The Shining was an adaptation of a Stephen King book,
right?
And Stephen King reportedly didn't like The Shining movie.
Really?
Yeah,
that was actually one of the clues too.
Yeah, that was
like it was like a line was a creator who didn't like his creation.
Yeah. Yep. So that was very true in real life with Stephen King in The Shining movie with Stanley Kubrick. So I thought that was a very good tribute to that film. I did wonder though, like with like being that the film takes place in 2045, and you have all these like these basically many of the users are like young kids, like teenagers basically, or in their early 20s, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, like they're like the Oasis, it's like supposed to be like this extraordinary world, like filled with all these characters, but yet I was surprised at how little imagination the Oasis actually had, because you had people essentially just being pop culture avatars. There really weren't any. There were very little original characters in the movie. I
would say the main ones.
Aside from the main ones, but like most people in the Oasis, they were pretty content with just being like, "Oh, I'm Tracer from Overwatch," or "I'm one of the Battletoads," or "I'm the Iron Giant."
I caught the Battletoads.
Yeah, or "I'm Chun-Li," and it's like,
you know what I think it was too. I think there probably were some, but it's just that the ones that we were familiar with is what caught our eye.
Yeah, that, and it's like, man, it's sort of like I don't know if this was the point of the movie or the book, but it was. I took it as like a sort of like a commentary on just how little imagination our modern pop culture has at times. Like we're starting to see that more and more, where people are pretty adverse to original content, and they're more open to sequels, reboots, rehashes, and more sequels. Like people are just more attached to that, to the point where people want to cosplay characters we've seen before from Marvel and DC, for example, and instead of being an original creation. And looking at the Oasis, it's like, man, this world, this virtual world has so little imagination in it, because it's just a big museum of like 80s and 90s and 2000s pop culture. And like, I wonder if the characters in the film even know what any of those preferences are. It's like, oh, this is a character, this is Cloud Strife from Final Fantasy VII. Like, have you played the game? No. This is I'm Iron Man. Oh, really? Have you read the comics? No. Have you seen the movies? No. Do you even know who Tony Stark is? No. Then why are you Iron Man? Well, because it looks cool, and James Halliday liked Iron Man.
Well, in the Oasis, and of course in the book, like, you actually had access to all that.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it's not necessarily like pinpointed, but
yeah,
it's like it's available for you to read.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess it just shows that, okay, you make the assumption that if you are that character, then you know about that character.
Right. Yeah. I suppose, but like, I didn't get the impression that like a lot of young kids, like, they just like latch onto some pop culture icon because it looks cool or because James Halliday liked it. So I didn't get the impression that they actually
a lot of it because James Halliday was like God to them.
Yeah,
because he created the Oasis.
Yeah. So like, to me, it kind of seemed like a really shallow world. And
Halliday was a creepy motherfucking creepy looking.
He was, but you know what? I would say that was a positive that I actually appreciated about the film, like Mark Rylance as James Halliday, because Mark Rylance, he's a very good actor.
I'm sure he is,
and like, he's been in Spielberg's, including this one, in like 3 of his recent films, like this one, Bridge of Spies, and the BFG. And it seems like he's like Spielberg's muse as of late. And
did he play the BFG?
He did.
I knew he looked familiar.
Yeah, that was him. And you know what? Mark Rylance is a terrific actor, and like I kind of felt a little sorry for his James Halliday. Like, he's a guy who, like, he was so withdrawn. I think definitely autistic. Like somebody who was so withdrawn from like human interaction that he was just so afraid that he just retreated into popular culture, and like that was his world space, and it was kind of sad. He was like a nerd who refused to grow up, and you do see that a lot in real life, unfortunately, with modern day nerd fandom and cosplayers. Not all cosplayers, but a good amount of them.
What's going on, Nick?
Yeah, so I kind of felt sorry for him. It was like he was like the darker side of nerddom in the sense that like somebody who kind of lost grips with reality.
Well, he just doesn't have that like social bone in his body, maybe, and he just he can't really quite function well.
Mm-hmm.
In social settings, so he just simply relied on video games and pop culture just to like function, basically.
Yeah, definitely that.
Remember the scene at the end where you like saw the younger version of himself, and he just like, it just looked sad.
Yeah, he's just sitting there in his attic in his room playing Atari by himself on his beanbag.
I was like, God damn, that's an old ass Atari.
Yeah.
Just the budget of finding all that stuff too.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, and the fact that like he didn't take that chance with that woman he went on a date with, who ended up being his partner's wife.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, damn, man. I felt sorry for him. And Mark Rylance, he brought a little something to that character, and I was like, you know what? That's a positive. He kind of brought more to that character than I expected. So I thought that was cool.
Yeah. Oh, we spoiling Ready Player One, Nick.
Yeah.
He got into the chat. He got into the chat late.
Okay. Yeah. So also the ending. What did you think of the ending?
Predictable. I knew. I read the book, so I knew it was happening.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, like you got the hint in the book. You got the same exact thing happened.
Mm-hmm.
So you got the hint that in the book you got the hint that hey, there's gonna be a sequel because he kind of just like Nolan Sorrento was like, don't worry, I'll be back. Did one of things, and I did read that Ernest Cline is writing a sequel.
Oh God.
And who knows? Maybe it'll be 90s. Something that we can relate to more.
I don't know.
But I didn't get that feel with it. I didn't get that feel in the movie. But it's like I already got word that Ernest Cline is writing a sequel. So I'm like, depending on how this sells, we may just get it.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised. But I thought the ending. I don't think the ending was earned. I mean, it was predictable, but I didn't think it was earned because, like, the whole was the ending. The lesson of the ending was that okay. So at the end, Parzival or Wade Watts, him and the High Five, they managed to take over the Oasis, and they start to make some positive changes. So they decide to close the Oasis on Tuesdays and Thursdays so people can live their lives in the real world. But the movie. That wasn't earned because, like, if the ending's message was that okay, every once in a while you got to tear yourself away from the fantasy world of video games or pop culture and live life, meet people, and all this, cool. The movie doesn't really reflect that message throughout its runtime, and also it felt like it was just tacked on because it was like, well, we got
yeah. I can see why you said it. I can see why you said that.
It was as if like Spielberg was like, well, I got to be socially responsible somehow. So kids, play video games all you want, but go outside every once in a while. Boom, that's the ending. And it's like,
not like you.
No, not like me. But
you played video games a lot as a kid, right?
I did, but I still went outside.
How often?
Often enough. I wasn't stuck like in front like James Halliday. Like man, I was just sitting there like it just wasn't earned because we didn't see enough of the real world. Like, yeah, the real world was a dump, but I'm pretty sure there were some positive aspects to it. Like, it couldn't have been all a dystopia.
And one thing I will say too, like Sorrento was soft, maybe for the PG-13 rating, but Sorrento was he was a little too soft.
Yeah.
He seemed like he was much more of a hard ass than he was. Like, he was one of those smooth talking villains. Mm-hmm. But yeah, he's still like ruthless.
Yeah, Ben Mendelsohn, like he did a pretty good job of playing the villain.
Oh yeah, as I was reading the book, I was definitely picturing him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like he was just like a corporate douchebag. Like he was getting he was getting pop culture references fed in his ear because he doesn't care about any of this stuff.
No,
he just wants to make
the payout.
Yeah, he's about making that quick buck. Capitalizing on people's nostalgia cynically. So like he did represent that corporatization of pop culture of nerd culture, and I'm like, you know what? That's what the Marvel heads think of us. That's what the DC heads think of us. You know that.
Yeah, but the Marvel heads listen to us. See?
Yeah,
I had to take a shot. I'm sorry. I had to. I had to defend. I'm a Marvel guy. I had to defend him, even though my favorite superhero is the Image character.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we saw Spawn in there too. I noticed him in that movie.
Did you?
Yeah, he was in that. In the big chase scene on Mount Doom or whatever, Planet Doom.
Oh yeah. That's right.
Yeah, he was like.
You have to watch that movie a couple of times just to catch all the
references. Yeah, you got to watch it frame by frame. But yeah, man. Yeah.
What letter grade would you give the movie?
Letter grade. I would give Ready Player One a C minus. I give it a C minus because like I wouldn't go so far as to saying it's terrible, but it's absolutely nothing special, and it's just it's a film that, much like the book, it ironically showcases the lack of imagination our nerd culture or pop culture has at times, because it shows that like, does it really matter if you know the minutia of all the lore and different obscure aspects of certain, stories and characters? No, not really. And really, if you use that as some sort of social currency to make yourself feel better than others, then that says nothing about you. It says that you're a pitiful person. I mean, like nerd culture is cool and all, but yo, like expand your knowledge, have some imagination. Go out and read. Go out to your local libraries, man.
I knew that was coming.
Yeah, put the smartphone down, man. Read, talk to people. Go meet a woman, or if you're or go meet a guy. Just go out for drinks. You know what? Just go out and take a walk in the park. Take pictures. With an actual camera. Something. Don't sit down just with all slack jawed and front drool, like percolating down your mouth, like I like this because I recognize Superman. I like this because I know this thing because my taste never changed from when I was 7 years old. I still like Star Trek. No. Oh, I like Captain Picard.
Shots fired to the Trekkies.
It's like, and you know what? Listen.
Oh, here we go.
Listen.
Rant.
Listen, to all you 30-somethings, 40-somethings, 50-somethings out there, put the costumes away. Put the costumes away and wear some real clothes. Leave the costumes for your kids. Okay? All right?
Unless you're going to an adult Halloween party.
Yeah, that's different.
Yeah.
Stop going to Comic-Cons and taking up floor space with your goddamn costumes and props. All right? You're crowding up the traffic, and you're making it a miserable experience. Stay home. Put the costumes away. All right? Unless you're performing in the film or play itself, you're too goddamn old to be doing that shit. All right? Just stop. It's time to stop. It's time to stop. No more. Just live your life. Nerd culture is cool and all, but come on. Live your life. Put the controller down. Put the smartphone down. Put the virtual reality display down. Talk to people. Go out and eat. Go out and walk. Take yoga classes. Do something with your life, man. Ready Player One. Yeah. That's what I think of Ready Player One. Carl, what did you think of the movie?
Give it a B-. I enjoyed it. I had fun watching it. No.
Cool.
Yeah, man, that's what we're giving away. That's what we're about to give away. Jesus, man. So yeah, thanks for the people who who entered our giveaway. So without further ado, the winner of our giveaway is Solo 123456.
Okay.
All right, so we'll be getting your information soon, and we'll let you know when you'll be expecting your gift. So congratulations.
Yes.
We'll be in touch soon.
Yeah. So Ready Player One. I'd say red box it, or if you have enough points on your Star Pass card, if you go to Showcase Cinemas, you can watch it for free, like I did.
Is that how you did it?
Yeah.
I thought you used Movie Pass.
But that's the thing. Like, I couldn't. Movie Pass wouldn't accept tickets for Ready Player One.
Really?
Yeah, I was surprised. I think maybe for the first 4 weeks of its run. I think.
But it's not Disney though.
I know it's not Disney. Maybe Warner Brothers made a deal, or DreamWorks, or Amblin made a deal with Movie Pass, I guess. Yeah. But
that's surprising.
I was very surprised. So I walked in the theater thinking that, oh man, I got to spend money that I don't have. But then, hey, as they swiped my Star Pass card, and they're like, hey, you have enough points for a free movie ticket. You want to use it for Ready Player One? I'm like, yes.
Sure.
So yeah, that's our thoughts on whatever you think about Ready Player One. For those who can't see it, I threw the copy of Ready Player One, the novel, on the floor.
It's still in good condition.
Yeah. It's still in good condition. So send us
Solo.
So send us your thoughts at codexprimepodcast@gmail.com, or leave us your thoughts in the chat below or the comments below when this episode is posted.
All right. We got a few more things to get into. So let's get into question of the week.
All right. Don't forget the email from Furman.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah, that's coming. Yeah. I got can you post it up, because I only got a little bit of battery juice left.
Sure.
Okay, so last week's question of the week was, What was your favorite post-apocalyptic film?
Mm-hmm.
I know you said
Snowpiercer.
Snowpiercer.
Yep.
I said Book of Eli. So John Aponic says Mad Max Fury Road wins the cake easily. I'm not a big fan of these films usually. Only competition is Wall-E.
Okay. Wally's a great one.
And Jessica Concussion says Interstellar, I Am Legend, and Sunshine.
Okay. Interstellar's a great one.
I still haven't seen Interstellar. That's Christopher Nolan.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah, I've never seen that one. Shame on me.
Yeah, man.
And I'm trying to figure. Oh yeah, okay. And on Facebook, Marcus Anthony Rose says The Road, I Am Legend, and Stakeland, the first movie. And Nick Petrini says Escape from New York or L.A. They black out the city. Which one? They black out the city?
Yeah, Escape from New York.
New York. All right.
Yeah.
So, with the theme, Ready Player One and avatars. What is the story, for all you gamers out there, what is the story behind your gamer tag?
That's the question of the week?
Yes.
Well, my gamer tag on the PlayStation Network is V Knowledge. V Knowledge was a nickname I gave myself in high school.
That's it?
Yeah.
That's boring as hell.
Yep. That's the truth. That's the whole story.
Okay. Mine is Young Byrd 1027.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm still am, like a huge Jay-Z fan. Mm-hmm. So Young Hove, Young Byrd, Byrd being my last name, and 1027 my birthday.
Word, that's what's up. Equally boring.
It's a little more exciting. So yeah, let us know what was your what's the backstory behind your gamer tag? Because I came across a video and it was just like a lot of people's gamer tags are like stupid, and they have stupid reasons behind it, and then they're like, but we can't change it. Because I kind of want to change mine to all my other handles, Mr. Bird 1027.
Yeah.
Just because I'm older.
I got you.
And some hot chick called me that like years ago and just stuck. She said it nice. I was like, hey, I like that. I like the sound of that.
That's what's up.
All right, so email.
Yes, so we're going to close out with one email from a friend of the show, Furman Diaz. It goes, "What up, boys? Wanted to throw some support and hate your way." Ooh, hate. Last week, Carl talked about how he, with his boys, used to play No Mercy and win most of the time with his friend Marcos. Well, Carl is a damn liar.
Nope.
And here is proof.
Okay, yeah, he has the. He provided the screenshots from the conversation with Marcos. What I actually said was that we were the last champions. Mm-hmm. That was it. He was the last one to have a belt, and I was the last one to have a belt. Much like the Eddie Guerrero, Chris Benoit moment from WrestleMania 20, except that we're both still alive.
Right. Mm-hmm.
That's what I meant.
Okay. Well, Furman writes, "I hope this clears things up a bit, Carl. The devil remembers." And
he had a character that he simply just forbade the devil. He just named it the devil himself.
Yeah, indeed. Furman also writes, "You'll be talking about Ready Player One this week, and I wanted to comment on that garbage movie. Too much was changed from the book to say that that movie was enjoyable. What was most upsetting is that at the end, no one was the villain. Everyone was rooting for Wade like it's what they wanted from the jump. Expected more than just skeletal works of the book. Keep it up, boys, and I'll catch you next week. Number 1 Primer, Furman."
Appreciate that, Furman.
Yeah. So, yes.
Nick Thomas he answered our question of the week. His is Codeine Olajuwon. I got it from Riff Rap, the rapper.
Codeine Olajuwon. Okay, cool. So, yes, that does it for this week's episode. Ready Player One, have you seen it? Let us know what you think. And tune in next Tuesday where we're going to be digging into WrestleMania 34 weekend.
That's going to be a good one.
Yes, indeed. We're going to have some special guests in the building, and we're going to be talking about our thoughts on the fallout of WrestleMania 34, NXT TakeOver New Orleans, as well as the Raw after Mania.
Always the best. It's always the best Raw of the year.
Yes, always the best.
Ooh, quick prediction for that.
Yes.
Bobby Lashley shows up.
Oh, that's right. Did he sign?
He signed.
Oh, he's showing
He
up.
signed like a month ago.
Oh, word. So, yes, Black Lesnar returns on Monday. So, with that, we will catch you on the flip. Peace out, nerds.
Later.
Hold on. Wait, trying to end the live video, people. Do you want to end it?